So the Chiefs confirmed that Gardner Minshew is going to be QB1 until Mahomes returns. A bunch more fun stuff we're going to talk about. Let's do it. How we doing, Chiefs Kingdom ACU crew? Welcome in, welcome in. Sorry we're running a little bit behind, but we are here. Better late than never. Do us a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's get some more people in here tonight. Y'all get in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking about everything as we go. You know the usual. Real quick, I just want to shout out DraftKings for being the sponsor of tonight's live stream.
Christmas is right around the corner and you've been in the giving spirit. So now it's time to give a little back to yourself. We've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you an offer so that you can treat yourself this Christmas season by downloading the app today. DraftKings Sportsbook has all your favorite ways to bet touchdowns this NFL season. And now you can experience the game as a fan even further with dynamic odds that move with the game and more open live betting markets more often. So don't wait. Download the DraftKings app today. Get in on the action and sign up using our promo code ACU. With DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Let's go, baby. Download it. Use the promo code ACU. That way they know All Chiefed Up sent you their way. Ladies and gentlemen, Gardner Minshew is going to be the QB1. We know that for the rest of the season, but Andy alluded that it could just be his until Patrick Mahomes is back, which brings up a bunch of questions, Mike, because we've talked about this a little bit, but Gardner Minshew is not under contract at the end of the year. Also, there were some other intriguing options out there, but let's just see what Andy had to say about the entire thing here. He says, we'll cross that as we go. Brett Veach thinks of everything. I mean, he jumps in on it. He's well ahead of all of it. I'm not worried about it, that part of it. And then Patrick, you never know these rehabs, how they go. I just know he's got good people that he'll be working with. I know how aggressive he is on things. As long as the surgery goes well and as expected, then I would expect a fairly quick recovery just because of those factors. So that's him talking about Mahomes getting back. And then right here, he said, Andy said that basically that QB1 job is not up for grabs. So even though Mahomes has a knee injury, he admits that Gardner Minshew has an important audition in these 3 games, but he thinks it's just going to be Gardner Minshew through and through. Mike, what do you think about the entire thing?
For one, every time you read a quote that Andy Reid says or I listen to Andy Reid talk, it's like the biggest bunch of word salad I've ever seen in my life. It literally gives me a migraine.
It's hard to read, ain't it?
Yeah. Andy hum-hoes around more. Like, he's one of the best. Andy should go into politics after this because he'll just say a bunch of junk and everybody will be like, I don't know what he's saying. I kind of like his mustache. I'll go ahead and vote for him. But yeah, so I took it as like we all know that Gardner Minshew is his team for 3 weeks. We heard today several times that the Chiefs do not plan on tanking anything. They want to win each and every week. Right. I don't know why they would try that hard. I think a lot of guys on this team are big boys. Their psyche's not going to go down the drain that much just because you lose a few games here at the end of the season. But it is what it is. They're going to try pretty hard, and it's Gardner Minshew's to lose. Really, it's only him and Chris Oladokun on the entire roster as quarterback. So
we want to keep Oladokun as far away from the football field as possible.
You don't want this guy on the football field. And so I took it more as next year. Minshew's not on the roster. You would have to re-sign him next year. He's not on the books. Is that a thing? Possibly. We had talked about looking at different free agents last time. You didn't like any of them. Maybe the Chiefs aren't too thrilled with that or anything. So it sounds like maybe if there's something even if Mahomes can't come back, it sounds like to me they're going to try to get Minshew back on the team for another backup stint.
Right. Well, I think it makes the most sense to me because he's been there all season in behind Patrick Mahomes. So not only is he acquainted with the team, but he knows the playbook by now and all that good stuff. He's been preparing for this. That's his job, right? If they go into the offseason and they don't re-sign Gardner Minshew and they have to go with like Zach Wilson or Trey Lance or some kind of experimental thing, then you have some guy that hasn't been successful in the NFL whatsoever trying to learn Andy Reid's maybe, hopefully, new and improved offense going into the season. I just think it makes a whole lot more sense for Gardner Minshew to do that as long as he can get out there and get the job done these last 3 weeks. And I don't see why he couldn't, man. I think Gardner's been a pretty good, serviceable quarterback his entire career. He had some big-time games with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he played decent with the Colts. Didn't really do a whole lot with the Raiders, but who the hell could? I think Gardner's a pretty good quarterback, man, so I'm hoping that he's successful in these next 3 weeks, and that's just kind of how it goes until Pat can get back, and hopefully Pat can be back in week 1, but we want him to be completely healed up. We want him to be comfortable and ready to go.
Yeah, I agree. I want Gardner to look good, and you know these games we're playing for nothing. You know what it is, but
Your pride.
at the end of the day, I don't want to lose every single game. Like, how bad do you got to feel if you lose to the Titans?
Yeah, brother. I mean, if you lose to the Titans this week, you can go ahead and tank the last two. It can't get any worse than that.
Yeah, that's my point. I mean, I guess you don't want to lose to the the Raiders and the Broncos, but damn, if you lose to the Titans, you may as well just pack it up. Just go ahead and sell the franchise at this point.
Speaking of, we'll get to something fun in just a second. Flapjack with the 2 bombs says either I'm drunk or it's past 9. We were a little bit late. I was having camera problems. You know how it goes. Perry with the 5 bombs says, would you rather spend money on a running back or spend a pick, Hall versus Love? I prefer the money. Embry should be fired after his comments today. Mike, you've dove into a little bit of what Embry had to say today, and Dave Tobe and a couple of those guys. Maybe we can get to that here in just a second. But before we do that, he's saying, would you rather spend money on a running back or spend a pick? Honestly, like, I don't think drafting a running back high in the draft is smart at all. It's too big of like a boomer bust thing. You never know who's going to work out or not. I think if you're going to go that route and you really want some kind of elite running back, I think you go out and do what everybody says to do and just go after Breece Hall. We know that Veach was interested. He was trying to get him at the trade deadline when he should have been getting defensive linemen. So I think he's interested there. So I'd rather see him spend the money than the pick, to be honest, because I think we need D-line in the draft.
Well, you don't have a lot of money, so that's going to be hard to spend money. Breece Hall is going
there's
to
ways
get
to open it up.
10 running back money, and I don't see the Chiefs just completely flip-flopping their philosophy.
Is he going to be the only option out there in free agency? I
He's
was probably
probably
wondering
not
about
the only
that.
option, but that's the only option Chiefs fans are wanting to talk about. And he's wanting to get 10.
They're roused, brother.
Yeah, they're wanting 10 to 13 million a year for him. So good luck with that one.
Yeah, that'd be pretty rough. Appreciate the 5, Perry, and we'll get to Embry and all of them in a second. Welter in the house with the 2 bombs. Get to see if Royals looks good out there, maybe. Man, that's something else that they were talking about today. I know that Nagy had brought that up a little bit, and they still wouldn't completely sell on him actually getting a lot of playing time, which I thought was crazy.
No, they sounded super non-committal on it.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey, that's a guy you guys like to talk about, but we sure as hell don't want to let him play any. But so we're just going to give you a runaround. They even brought up his knee tendonitis. Dude, that was literally 4 months ago at this point.
Suck it up, boy. Get out there. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. Jalen Royals has had the weirdest rookie season of all time. Like in my opinion, because that kid, smart kid, great athlete. I know he had some injury issues in college, but like even the way he played, it kind of fit into the Chiefs offense. Mike, if you remember, I slapped myself right in the nuts when we drafted him. I was so excited because it made so much sense. And then all of a sudden he can't even get on a football field. I think we saw him return a couple kicks this year, but like, I just think it's very odd. We know he has the talent. He's got the size. He's got the speed. And I don't know, man. It makes no sense to me why they didn't try to get him out there and get him acclimated to the NFL a little bit and hold him on the sidelines all year and just claim a knee tendonitis is pretty wild to me. And then to be in these last 3 games where you're really playing for nothing here except for your pride and your ego, I guess, at this point. But like, what would it hurt to put him out there and just get him some reps, dude? Because I feel like that would be a really smart thing to do, you know, because you're going to need this guy probably contributing next season.
Yeah, absolutely. Move that comment really quick. I'm going to bring this up today. I'm sure everybody's seen this. The Chiefs literally have a quarter of their roster.
Right. Anyone with a headache and upset tummy this week is not going to play.
So Trent McDuffie and Chris Jones got out there and did some limited today, but you still see Chenault's probably not going to play, Derek Nottie, Jawan Taylor, Jalen Moore, Tyquan Thornton, Rashee Rice. So if Thornton and Rice don't go, presumably you would think that maybe you see Jalen Royals out there. Hollywood, Remigio, and Juju is all on the injury report, but they all fully practiced. Right. I think Remigio coming back from a concussion protocol, he's probably good. Now, I don't understand why. Rashee Rice. Okay, yeah, he is on here. I was going to say he did report Monday with concussion symptoms. No doubt, he's taken 2 or 3 weeks of almost just blatant helmet-to-helmet hits that everybody thought was cool.
Yeah,
and featured on
right.
NFL hits.
Right.
Yeah, and they're like, well, that wouldn't even have been there if it was in the 80s. Well, we're not playing in the 80s anymore, and they've switched the rules.
Dude, they were just letting people tee off on Rashee Rice, just helmet to helmet, baby. Bam!
We've switched the rules, but only for people not wearing the red and gold. That's what we've switched the rules for.
And then what's funny is when Tyquan Thornton got hit helmet to helmet and dude got ejected from the game, everybody cried about it. They're like, that was a clean hit. And it's like, no, actually, that was a complete dirty hit, just like the rest of them.
That was a complete put your head down and launch into the player. And I was seeing even coaches be like, what was he supposed to do? I don't know.
Right.
Not jump at him with your head?
You definitely don't lead with the crown of your helmet into the side of someone's face mask or in their face like Jalen Petrie. When they allowed that for a couple weeks and it became the cool thing, like, oh, we're all hitting hard, we're awesome. That's what you're going to get. And it was allowed to happen on the Chiefs, so everybody was doing it, And not to mention, the Chargers have to be the dirtiest team that we play all the time. I mean, good God, all they do is just dirty hits all game. They've been headhunting the whole game. You knew it was coming. Derwin James tried to take out Jalen Moore's knees. They were just being dirty the entire game.
I think they mistake being hard-nosed and physical and setting the tone as just being dirty.
Well, I think you have to look at the coach, right? It's Harbaugh. Harbaugh's a notorious cheater. We know this. Look what he did in Michigan. He's literally like the Bill Belichick of college. And then he comes to, the NFL, starts coaching for the Chargers. And he's got a bunch of dirty players out there like Derwin James, Jefferson, some of those guys. And it's like, what do you think's going to happen?
Surprised he didn't get the gig over in New England in the offseason. Let's get to a few of these, coaches' comments today. We heard from Spags. We heard from Connor Embry. We heard from a few. Let's just go through these really quick and talk about these. Then we'll get back to the chat. Dave Tobe came out today, and this was one that I wanted to clip up because this is going to piss off a lot of Harrison Butker haters. Tobe said about Butker, he's confident with Butker, and he has no doubt that he's going to be back on track and have a great year next year. I believe he's going to get it fixed and come back as good as ever. I took that one pretty good, as in the Chiefs have him under contract, and a lot of people were saying, hey, let's cut Butker. Let's figure out a way to get some money back. That's not going to happen. Butker's going to be your kicker next year, probably for the future 2-3 years. I think there was something wrong with Butker this year, but if you look across the board, there was something wrong with this entire team. There was something to do with their psyche, their mental state was not there. They all seemed distracted. They all seemed tired. They all seemed like they could care less.
Right.
But Butker, again, I'm wondering if maybe there's something with the hold with Ariza, if it's just not there properly. Is there something wrong when he got injured with the way he's planting? He's trying not to go all the way down on a knee.
I've been reading about a little bit with Butker and some of the ex-kickers and stuff, and said basically he has like a new plant or something that he's doing this year, and that he's got to work on basically.
Well, they also went to those new balls too. They're allowing him to condition those balls, and maybe he got used to the non-conditioned ones for a few years. I don't know what's going on, but
yeah,
I thought that was a telling thing, and I'm surprised Tobe even spoke about next year.
Yeah.
It was pretty telling because he might not be here next year, huh?
It's probably why Cameron Dicker's such a good kicker, because the Chargers are pretty used to conditioning balls, But hey, I don't agree with Dave Tobe about a lot of stuff, Mike. But I'm good with that. I think that Harrison Butker is just fine. I think he had a little bit of a tough year. We saw him have a little bit of a stretch a couple years ago. He'll be okay.
Yeah. Tobe also said that Brashard Smith's going to get some more runs this week with Tyquan Thornton dealing with that concussion. I think a lot of people want to see this. I think way back in the season, I think it's dumb. Look, let's just start with this. I think it's super dumb and a coaching malpractice, just one of the several by this team, that Tyquan Thornton was one of our most productive deep ball threats throughout the entire season, and midway through the season, we just went away from him and hardly ever used him. Instead of developing more chemistry, he got less playing time. And then the only way he was able to touch the ball was through special teams. And now he has to take a back seat because he's got a concussion. And Brashard Smith, the only way he can touch the ball now is through special teams. What is going on? These are two offensive playmakers, dynamic speedsters you could have been using all season long. And
Mike, it's not like you were out there being completely successful all season two and just really killing it in the offense. That's probably the most mind-boggling part about it. This offense has been complete ass cheeks, and we still didn't even give them a shot. It was like we just, we're good with sucking. We're not even going to try any of these new exciting young kids we got. Why would we? I mean, we're doing so well.
With the running back position being so just weird this season. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, Kareem Hunt done well when he started to be the feature back or whatever. But again, he's giving you 2, 3, 4 hard-nosed yards. He may pop one off at 10 yards or
15,
10 to 12 yards
like that,
once in a while. But, I mean, come on. Brashard Smith should have been playing a lot more throughout this entire season. But the fact that they're all just getting on the team or getting on the field through special teams, it just feels obsolete at this point. Let's move on and talk about this one. Let's go to the defense. The linebacker coach, Brendan Daly, he talked about Jeffrey Bossa. He said he stayed very dialed in defensively into what we're doing. I've been really pleased with his development. Jeffrey Bossa is a guy, Steve, that we've all talked about. Bossa's not got a single defensive snap this year. What? How has that been allowed to happen?
And they were still very non-committal about him playing any of these last 3 games, just like Jalen Royals.
Absolutely. We thought he was going to be drafted because they planned on to move on from Drew Tranquill at the end of the year. So if you've got 3 games coming up that are just completely like, who gives a rat's ass? Why wouldn't you let this guy go out there and make some plays and put something on film?
Mike,
so we know whether or not to draft more guys or looking more in the free agency, especially if you're going to cut ties with Drew Tranquill.
Are we seeing just terrible coaching decisions stay where they're at? Like it's not changing. It's continuing.
It's not terrible coaching decisions. It's the other part we've talked about all season. It's the stubbornness.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like you're already out. You're eliminated from the playoffs. You've got your QB1, the best quarterbacks to ever play football. You got him destroyed. He's out for an entire solid year now because you guys couldn't get your shit together, and you still are refusing to even like change anything up. Even when it doesn't matter, you won't try any guys out. It's very strange to me, dude. And like you said, Drew Tranquill is probably one of those guys that won't be here next year. They have to cut some money somewhere, and I think Drew's probably going to be one of those spots. And I thought that's what Jeffrey Bossa was for. But we'll see. I mean, you have to think, man, they got to pay Leo too. And we don't know 100% that they're going to do that, but we think they should. But Leo does so many different things, dude. He's like a Swiss Army knife out there at the linebacker position. So he's going to be hard to replace, dude.
Absolutely. And Leo did not practice all week with that shoulder. The way he threw that up on Instagram yesterday, it felt like a farewell message to the Chiefs.
I don't like it.
It really didn't sit well with me. But let's move on to the offense. Matt Nagy going back to Royals because a lot of people were talking about that. Nagy said you want to see more time for him if possible. Some of it is just a numbers thing. It's almost like a redshirt year, so he's basically saying it's a redshirt year. I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the next 3 games and in the future. Still just very non-committal there on that front.
Yeah.
I remember in the preseason, a lot of people were talking about how they thought Jalen Royals was going to have, 40, 50 catches, 800 yards.
There were people getting real horned up talking about, like, rookie of the year and stuff, and I was like, you got to be careful with those predictions.
We thought he was going to do a lot more than he did.
I thought around 300 to 500 yards, and that's crazy how far
we were saying 20 to 30 catches, somewhere around that 300 to 400 yard mark, and boy, they didn't even – this dude probably took 300 to 400 Tylenols to get rid of that tendonitis, but –
Right. Good Lord. Let's get to the chat just real quick and we get back to all that, Mike. But our boy Kyle, been a member for 27 months. Says, are you gentlemen coming to Nashville this weekend for the game? I'm ready for the Uncle Rico show. Kyle, I'm not going to be able to make it down there, man. I was really wanting to, but I'm not going to be able to make it work. I got work and everything else, so I won't be. I saw where Brian Parrott was like, you guys need to go and just interview some people about this terrible season. Just talk to all the Chiefs fans and stuff. I thought that would be
fun, but we'd probably get punched.
No. I think everybody would be like, yeah, let me give them.
Yeah, I think they'd probably want to get on here and talk and rage a little bit.
I think so.
Chiefs fans, anyways, that was a pretty good idea. I thought about going too. Tickets are like literally like I think like a bag of chips right now.
It's gonna be probably not gonna be that cold either because it's like
they're
turned into a tropical paradise right before Christmas, and I'm not a fan.
So it's like mid-50s, north. 60s. So I don't know. I don't really know if I want to go down there either, to be honest. I mean, if I went down there, I just want to eat some hot chicken. I don't even know if I'd want to watch the game.
Hey, just go meet up with Kyle and eat some hot chicken, man. Get some Hattie B's.
True.
Well-Turd with the 5 bomb says, did you see the coverage graphic when Mahomes got hurt? Smith in draft or no? No, and don't know. I'm assuming Smith is the running back, right?
Yeah, Jeremiah.
I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't watched any college tape. Normally, I do that after the season, and I'm going to get an early start this year, obviously. But like,
yeah, we'll pick it up in January instead of February this year.
Yeah, it's weird. So, I know he's a popular guy, and I know a lot of people's talking about him and stuff. But honestly, I don't watch college football. I don't have time. Like, we cover the Chiefs so much, I do not have time to watch college football. So normally we dig into all the prospects postseason. So we'll figure it out.
Here's what I'll say about that whole situation, though. If the Chiefs manage to keep a top 15 pick or go lower, like if they start cruising around that number 10 pick, there is no way I think they take a running back that early.
I don't think so.
I just could not see it. Now, look, if they traded off that pick, which I think you may need to, that's also going to piss off a lot of people. But you acquire more draft, and this is what the Patriots done the entire dynasty run. You move back, you get more picks at a future date or in the same draft, and then you pick somewhere around the time that you're used to picking, I guess. There's less boomer bust potential back on there, I think, in my opinion. But if you take Jeremiah Love and say 12 to 13, and he was to come out and A, get injured, or B, looks like Clyde Edwards-Helaire again, they're going to be freaking chasing Brett Veach down in the streets.
Right. Well Turd with the 5 says, me personally, I'm excited to see a reset and hope they unlock the offense again. Going to be hard with Cap and possibly new staff. Any staff suggestions? Man, not really. I think we've talked about like the OC job. I think so. Matt Nagy, not only could he get fired, but he's one of the top coaching prospects. Like you see that constantly. Like everybody's talking about. Like and you know, personally, like that's great, dude. Hey, go get yourself a head coaching job and get out of our hair, you know. And then you know, it don't have to be weird. You don't have to be fired. Nothing like that. Like just go on, take your job, and let's do whatever. But I mean, it's just I don't have any like favorites for any of the staff moves really. You know, we've talked about Mike McDaniels if he were to get fired from the Dolphins. We've talked about can you woo Cliff Kingsbury away from the Commanders? It shouldn't be that hard. I don't know. I really don't know, man. Mike, do you have any favorites that you're thinking of for like OC or anything like that?
There's one guy that I could see coming in if Nagy leaves, and I'm telling you, it could be a try to get a reunion with Eric Bieniemy because he's only in a running back role. He could step back up to an OC again.
I wouldn't be mad about that.
I wouldn't be mad with it either, I guess, just to see what happens.
If it's somebody in that we're familiar with already, I'll take the enemy.
Well, I'm just saying, the more I think about this and the way that you're seeing this coaching staff still going into week 16, just being completely obliterated and embarrassed by their coaching decisions, they are just doubling and tripling down on this stuff. So at the end of the day, I don't know if the Chiefs are going to fire anybody. Like I could honestly see us going into February or March and we don't fire a single person.
No, it wouldn't surprise me a bit, but everyone's going to be pissed. Like I feel like that. Like I think it's a bad look. Like if I'm Clark Hunt, I talked to Brett Veach and I'm like, look, I understand. You know, this group has got us to you know, a lot of Super Bowls, but this ain't working, and that was embarrassing, and something's got to be done about it. Like you have to do something.
So I think if you want to say, are there any favorites? No. But I will say this. I think we should move on from Matt Nagy. And if I can name 3 more to move on from, I'm moving on from Andy Heck. I don't think he's been a very good offensive line coach. I don't like the way he teaches the offensive line. I'm not even going to touch those 2. I'll take Connor Embry, get him out. I think we got to get better there. And then I think probably Todd Pinkston, get our actual running back coach in here. But Bieniemy could solve 2 of those.
I don't like Joe Blameyer's, like, just the comments he's made.
I don't either, but Joe Blameyer's been with the team for 10 years. I cannot see Andy Reid going in there and firing him. So if Blameyer or Girardi, the QB coach, any of those guys, here's what I see happening. They have to physically go out, find another job, and leave willingly. I don't think the Chiefs will do the embarrassment of a firing. I don't think Andy Reid wants to fire his buddies.
I'm sorry, but why wouldn't you? Like, I'm sorry. It's just how it is, dude.
I just feel like that's the way he rolls. Andy's like a loyal guy to a fault.
Compare it to a 9-to-5, brother. I mean, if you're in charge of something and everything goes to hell, someone's over your head telling you to hold somebody accountable. Like, you know, even if they're your buddies working beside you, you're still writing them up or whatever you got to do. So, I mean, I think this kind of falls on Hunt and push, you know, putting the heat down and letting all that shit roll downhill, you know, and see what you can get done. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
It's an interesting conversation that we'll have all off season. We know.
Yeah, our boy Flapjack with the 2 says make Leo the Mike, trade Bolton and McDuffie. So man, it's funny because I'm a Nick Bolton guy. I like Nick Bolton. I think that a lot of people hate on him for no reason, but he does have limitations. Could possibly be overpaid. I wasn't a huge fan of the contract, but I love Nick Bolton. But I actually like this idea, Flapjack. Like I think we're at a point with this Chiefs team to where it's like, hey, you have to do things you don't want to do, because I love Trent McDuffie. I love Nick Bolton. But I do think that Leo needs a bigger role in this defense. I am a Leo guy till the end. Like, he is a football player. Love his attitude, his physical abilities. I mean, the dude can do everything. And I want to see more from Leo. So I like this idea. I'm okay with trading Bolton and Trent McDuffie. As much as I like them, I think that might be something that's necessary.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You're going to have Nick Bolton for one more year. Nobody's going to trade anything for Nick Bolton, I don't think. You'd be lucky to get a third rounder out of Nick Bolton, in my opinion.
Well, he just signed a contract, so I mean,
his cap hits 19. Yes, he just signed a 3-year deal. He's playing on the first year of it this year. His cap hit next year is going to $19.2 million, and he's taking up 6.2% of our salary cap, basically 6.3%. He's got a dead cap of 23.5. So I'm not 100% how that works if you trade him. I don't know if the dead cap applies to that. I think that might only, it might only count if they cut him or whatever, but that's just a lot of money. Now, look, he has an out in 2027. He's only got a $4.2 million dead cap. I think that's when you're going to see Nick Bolton leave. If he doesn't turn it up a notch next year and overcome those limitations, I could see Brett Veach getting out in 2027 in the offseason after next season. But I think we've got one more year of Bolton. I think you're going to have one more year of Bolton. I would sign back Leo Chenal to play the strong side linebacker. I really would. And I would let Bossa come in for Tranquil, and I'd cut Tranquil. That's how I would do it. Everything they're telling me is I don't know. Now, we did hear Spags or Brendan Daly, one of them, come in today and said they've been teaching Jeffrey Bossa the weak side linebacker. So that is a Tranquil type position. So that leads me to believe they might either get Tranquil to restructure big time this year, or they may just part ways with him and let Bossa take that. But if that's your plan, why are you wasting 3 more games on Drew Tranquil? Let's get Bossa in to see what we got in case Tranquil goes anyway. You don't have to give up your plan. You just got to find a new linebacker that can do better than Bossa until he can develop.
They got to get that money's worth out of Tranquil. They can't let him not have 3 games off. What are you talking about?
The mighty Bossa Stone. That's his new nickname.
Man.
That probably just goes over everybody for the 90s, huh?
Well Turd with a 2 says Jeremiah Smith is Ohio State receiver. I thought you were talking about...
Oh, you want him.
I thought you were talking about Love. I get their names mixed up.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, but anyway, I have to check him out. Well Turd. And then Flapjack right on cue says Love got chicken legs. Them things look fragile. I honestly, I couldn't tell you, man. I'll get into all that. Like, obviously, we're going to be into it a lot earlier this season than we have been in years. So, Mike, as immaculate as our draft content has been for years now, I would expect it to be its all-time best this year.
I don't. I expect it to be probably horrible.
We get to start like months earlier.
Yeah, but that gives you time to outthink yourself. That gives you time to tweak your stuff too much. Then everybody's already set. Like, all I've ever seen is Carnell Tate, the Smith kid from Ohio State, Jeremiah Love. There's only like 5 or 6 people that Chiefs Kingdom will settle on. And then ever so often, like every 2 to 3 weeks, there'll be this new fascination.
Well, that's fine because we never draft the people that everyone's fascinated with.
That's one of the things. But I will say Simmons had a lot of attention last year, and they did eventually get Simmons. I mean,
Simmons had a lot of attention just because it was like, dude, could this guy really fall to the end of the first round? Like, if he does, it's a no-brainer, right? So, I mean, it's not like anybody was, being prophetic or like awesome.
Didn't Jeremiah Smith I remember watching a few games, and I remember tuning into an Ohio State game, and I don't remember who they played. Jeremiah Smith hardly ever drops, but the game I watched, he literally dropped like 2 or 3 passes in a row, and like everybody was freaking out. And I was like, well, that's what he'll do if he comes to Kansas City. You already know it.
Yeah. Mike, we know Jeremiah Smith. I think his birthday's in a couple days too.
Really?
Yeah.
When's his birthday?
I think it's December 21st. Yeah. That's funny. Ryan with the 2 bombs says Hunt needs to put Reed on the hot seat. So that's my thing. Like, I really truly believe that I'm kind of leaning towards where Mike's saying, like, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of anything. Now, if there is, which I would think from just my experience throughout life, I would think that they want to do something. They have to, like, make an example of something. Like, just, basically it's like you can't be a pushover as an owner or as a GM. Like, hey, we failed miserably. If I'm not going to say it's my fault and he's not going to say it's his fault, somebody's fault. So we gotta prove to everybody, hey, you need to be on your A game. We got to fix this. Like, I feel like you can't really do that if you keep the entire coaching staff fully intact. Like, what's going to change at that point? It's like expecting a kid to get better without punishing them. You know what I'm saying? Like, to figure things out. It's just, I don't know. That's just the way I've always done things. That's the way I think it should happen. I don't think it'll go all the way down to Andy Reid, but I think if Andy Reid were to have another bad season next season, they might go ahead and get rid of him after that. I think like it would go from like, full leash to just nothing. But I don't think they'll put a whole lot on Reid this year.
Do you think you could invite and entice Eric Bieniemy back?
I think it would be easy. Just ask him.
But I'm saying, come back, take the OC job. When Andy retires here 2, 3, 4 years, you get the head coach job. This will be your first head coaching job.
Wasn't that what it was going to be last time? I don't think.
Well, yeah, but they've also said the same thing about Matt Nagy.
Yeah, we're not. No, we don't need that.
My God, you want to see somebody like you won't have to move because people would burn Arrowhead down.
Yep. HT Chiefs fan Kyle with a 10 bomb says, as far as my OC, my two suggestions are, if is interested, Chase Daniel or Mike Kafka if the Giants move on from him. A lot of people have talked about Kafka, and it's weird though because like I'm kind of in the middle on that. I don't really go either way on Kafka. Like I wouldn't be mad at it, but I also wouldn't be excited. Never even thought about Chase Daniel. I don't know enough about Chase Daniel to even know how that would go. I know he's an ex QB3 or something, or 2, but that's about it, man. What do you think, Mike?
I don't know. I mean, Chase Daniel's never been an offensive coordinator, so I don't know. You could get a little bit of, could maybe get like a little Kellen Moore kind of stuff from him. Maybe he's willing to push the envelope a little bit. I just don't think Andy's going to go outside of his coaching tree, even if he does get a new offensive coordinator. So, I mean, he has coached Chase Daniel. Kafka's from there. Kafka was QB coach. I'm afraid if you get Kafka, you're just going to get another yes man kind of guy. Even with Brian Daboll, you probably get something like that. Doug Peterson may be the one that's a little older, more set in his ways that you may get a little bit more pushback out of Peterson.
I would be happier with Peterson than a lot of the other guys.
But I don't love Doug Peterson either.
Right.
You've seen that. Even with, look at the weapons they have now. And yes, they've went out and drafted, a good, wide receiver. They traded for Jacoby Myers, but you had the running back, you had Trevor Lawrence, you had a serviceable offensive line, you had a pretty decent defense, and he just never could get any wins or even get big production out of his offense. So.
I love Liam Cohen, and I think that he is a good coach. I knew he was a good offensive coordinator, but I will say this. I don't know if I can fully go that way about Doug Peterson because I think that if the entire AFC didn't shit the bed this year and decide not to play football, I don't know if the Jaguars are really that good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but their players are playing better this year, though. I'm just saying, like, Trevor Lawrence actually looks like a serviceable quarterback most weeks, whereas they were ready to run him out of Jacksonville.
That's what I'm saying, though. I feel like the AFC is just so weak. It's been, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe. Appreciate you, Kyle. Flapjack with the 5 says, what do y'all think about Josh Gordon saying KC is a place where wide receivers go to kill their career? I didn't know he said that, but he's not lying. He ain't lying at all. That's why you can't get people to Kansas City.
I say this every offseason. People say, hey, let's just tell them to come over here and win a ring. They don't care.
Right.
Wide receivers are some of the most like self-absorbed people in the world. Like they're wanting a stat pad stat. One of those.
Pad their stats.
They're wanting to do something like that, but they want to catch the ball. I bet Hollywood won't even try to come back here next year. Like, I don't think they'll sign him, but I don't think he would even care. I honestly don't think D-Hop wanted to come back, honestly.
I was surprised that he did. Like, D-Hop did want to come back. He said it straight from his mouth.
He said he did, but did he really?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like everybody that comes here, they realize that.
Look, I'm going to tell you
our wide receivers run shitty routes. We don't pass to them.
Yes.
It's weird,
Well, the concept, again, I've said this over and over. We have manipulated Andy Reid's entire offense
to go through a tight end.
You have to, yes, it's got to go through the tight end first. That's how we've done it, and I think that's why they've struggled. Number 2, there's no running game to take any heat off of you. So wide receivers are constantly facing a shell. And then outside of that, you've got Connor Embry as the wide receiver coach. Nobody wants to come over here and listen to a kid straight out of high school tell you what to do. And then on top of that, we're too much of a spread it around offense. We don't have anybody we'll go to except the tight end. And that's kind of diminished over the past 2 years. You've seen that, and then the offense has literally stopped moving.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about, like, we just eliminated options from our offense until we had nothing left. Like, if you kind of what you just described, so, like, it always kind of centered around Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And, of course, Tyreek Hill, when he was there, got more than a lot of the other guys in the receiver room. But let's just omit the receiver room for now. We always went to Travis Kelce. We always had that dump down kind of thing to Jerick McKinnon. We eliminated that. We eliminated the fullback out of the team. It's like all these little actual nuances we had to our offense. We eliminated them one by one, whether we wanted to or not. Either Kelce just got old, or we lost this guy here, or we removed this position. But we got to a point to where literally it was like, hey, Pat, snap the ball, run around in a circle, and see if one of these wide receivers can get open after they run a shitty route. Like, that's what our offense is. And that's why we were so bad this season, and that's why Pat ended up hurt. First of all, like, we could really go into that more in depth, but all season long, with the pressure at the end of last year and the pressure that Patrick Mahomes has been under this season, as much running around as he has to do, and as bad and stale as our offense is, with the receivers not getting open, not winning in man, not finding soft spots in zones, Pat's been getting hit a lot. He's getting pressured a lot. He's had to run more this year than he ever has. And then he come out there with a bum knee a few weeks ago. He's been on the injury report for a month or two now with a bad knee. And he's over here probably, which I don't know this for sure, but I heard he got injections before the freaking game.
Yeah, I heard that. If there's truth to that, I feel like that's just malpractice.
That is bad. With a quarterback of Patrick Mahomes' stature, that is insanity. Especially when even if you won the game, you probably still weren't making the playoffs. That's crazy, dude. Like, that's the kind of stuff that'll have Patrick Mahomes bitter towards the end of his career and not want to be here anymore. That's the Aaron Rodgers type stuff where you all put everything on his back and try to get him to carry an entire franchise to the point to where he's getting hit, getting hurt. Man, they got to be careful with that, dude. I'm not saying Pat would ever do that, but, like, would you blame him if it continues?
Well, it just gets to that point to where, you feel like the team's just not helping you. Now, I will say there's a difference between not helping Pat, trying not to help, and just missing. I think Veach has consistently tried to go get help. I just don't know if it always pans out the right way. So, but it's not for lack of trying. I think he's tried. Like, there was a few seasons where maybe the wide receiver room felt a little neglected, but almost every time there's been, like, offensive line problems, it's always happened throughout the season, and just it comes to a head with, like, injuries, and it compounds to a point where you can't really fix it. And then he does try to overdo it in the offseason, but it's just like the guys he goes and gets is just not really panning out. But I don't think it's from lack of trying for Veach a lot of the times. So it is what it is.
Yeah, well, Turd says, well, Mahomes, will he have more pocket patience in 2026? So, maybe that's something that could come from this. Like, Mahomes has to go through all the rehab and then train and get back to where he was at. But yeah, it's going to be different for him, right? Because, like, even when Tom Brady was talking about recovering from that injury, that, like, it's a mental grind because it just doesn't feel right. So, like, you're always trying to get more and more flexibility, more and more motion, and it just doesn't feel right. So it's very tough mentally. So yeah, I mean, honestly, would it be a bad thing if Patrick was in the pocket more? Would it be a bad thing if Patrick got rid of the ball more? Would it be a bad thing if Patrick knew where he was throwing the ball when he snapped it? No. Like, we've talked about this for years, Mike. We love the way that Patrick can create when he has to, but he shouldn't have to do that every play. Like, Tom Brady was the best quarterback to ever play. Everyone will argue it, And Tom Brady didn't do much more than know where he was throwing the football on a slant route to Julian Edelman or Wes Welker before the ball was ever snapped. He got rid of the ball in record time. He didn't throw it very far. Like, I mean, it was just dinking, dunking. I mean, he knew what was up. He was throwing to a spot. And, like, that's not what it is with Mahomes. If they could get Mahomes in a better system or a new scheme and get him to be more patient in the pocket and actually scheme some guys open so he can do things like Brady had done his entire into his career, I think it could be a good thing for Pat because he would still be able to be Pat. He still has that in his arsenal, But let's open up a new side of his game too. We've always said they hindered him.
Yeah, I got two things to say about that. Number one, we always talk about scheming guys open, and yes, there are time and place to scheme guys open, but I feel like sometimes the Andy Reid offense gets lost in trying to scheme specific players open, and that's why you see a lot of really bad routes a lot of the time, and then there's one guy to go to, and then when that breaks down, everybody else run a 3-yard hook.
You could be right there, but I don't ever see it. I don't feel like if they're trying to scheme certain people open, they do a bad job.
Right, but sometimes it works. You'll see it. And then the number two thing I'll say is this could be a blessing in disguise. Mahomes has played half his career. I think this is a mid-career reset. If Mahomes is to be a longevity-style quarterback the same way as Brady, and I don't think he'll play as long as Brady, but let's just say Mahomes plays another 8 years after this. So he did 8. He's going to have his injury. He'll play 8 more.
Even if he did 10, he's still not touching Brady's 25.
Right, so let's just say it goes 8 more. But I think to be as very efficient and to be that elite level, that elite of a level quarterback, I do think you see it over the last few years. We've run them into the ground. There's been several things when the system's gotten stale, just every little thing, but it's caused Mahomes to like overexert himself and everything. Yeah. And so I feel like if he wants to go forward, you do have to do things that prolongs your career. And I believe that Mahomes changing his style just a little bit, learning to sit back in the pocket more, be more patient. Maybe you now build around him better. You find better receivers. You really try to come up with a scheme for this offensive line that protects Patrick Mahomes more than he usually does. Like, don't always rely on him getting out of the pocket. Find receivers that can win man-to-man routes. Find receivers that know how to sit down in the zone. Maybe that's the scheme change that we've all been praying for. And maybe the injury to Patrick Mahomes opens Andy's eyes to be able to do this. And in return, it helps Patrick Mahomes. He becomes more of a pocket quarterback. He starts trusting his receivers more. He trusts his line more. He slings it. He's always had a good arm. But like all his reads, everything starts getting better the way you see Brady did in the second half of his career. Maybe this is a blessing because otherwise I don't think Andy Reid was going to change much. This may have forced it.
I don't know if he still will. You know, but we'll see. We'll see, man.
Hey, we can hope.
Yeah. Can I pet that dog with a 2? It says, would you trade Worthy for Metcalf in a 3rd? No. I like Metcalf. I think he could be good in our offense. Obviously, we should have drafted him instead of McCole Hardman. But Worthy's on a rookie contract. Metcalf makes around $33 million a year. Metcalf is about 29 years old, I think. He's either 28 or 29. I just think the money thing, it's just almost impossible to even think about that.
I think if you take money out of it, I'd do it.
Yeah, but that exactly. Yeah, if you take the money out, sure.
I don't know if Worthy's the best all-around route runner. We kind of give him that knock and said that we didn't think he was worth a first-round pick in the draft. We thought he was more of an early second guy. I thought he kind of
proved me wrong, though, to be honest.
We thought he proved us wrong. Again, this could just be scheme. This could just be the fact that he was injured. But he's got 2 more years on the contract. They'll pick up a 5th-year option, so he's got 3 more years in Kansas City. I don't know if you extend him long-term. I just think the whole trying to replace what Tyreek Hill left is just over with.
It's been a detriment,
we don't need it. It's been a detriment, and none of these guys have his short area quickness. Even Xavier Worthy does not have Tyreek Hill elite short area quickness. He cannot beat people in the phone booth.
One guy was close, and y'all hated him. He didn't ever do squat.
But he never could catch the ball
exactly.
or do anything.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so for me, I feel like maybe a Metcalf could help a more stationary Patrick Mahomes in the future than a guy that is still struggling with route running that's only been coached by Connor Embry his entire career. That's also another detriment.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'd also take that 3rd if it's a top 100. We need more draft picks. We've got hella holes to fill. That's what they should call our team next year. Andy's got a slogan he comes in with every year. January 1st, he's going to put up and say, hella holes. That's going to be his new one.
I can see Andy saying that. Guys, we appreciate y'all being here. Do us a favor. Hit that like button if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Hang out with us more often. Don't be afraid to get in the chat. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, you can do that at join.allchiefedup.com. It's just $4.99 a month. Totally worth it. We'll have members-only live stream coming up here in about a week or so, depending on the holiday stuff. And we'll be giving away something. We've been giving away signed jerseys, signed footballs, all Chiefed Up merch, stuff like that. So get on the action. But yeah, real quick too, I want to shout out Zarda also. If you guys live anywhere near Blue Springs or Lenexa, get over to Zarda, get yourself an $11 lunch, get yourself a KC takeaway, try out some of those wings. They got the best sauces in the game, baby. Let them know All Chiefed Up sent you. Y'all, let's talk about this. The full quote from Soren there. Here's what Clark Hunt had to say. There's a meeting scheduled in Topeka on Monday. Or this is not what Clark said. This is what Soren said. I'm being told the Chiefs are scheduled to be at that meeting. However, the Royals are not. Barring a last-minute screw-up by someone at the top, announcing the Chiefs are moving to Kansas will happen after that meeting. So, Soren Petro, is that how he says his name? Yeah. He says that unless something goes crazy, that they're going to announce that the Chiefs are moving to Kansas.
Yeah, they don't think Missouri's put up a good fight. They've not come to the table with anything. If you remember, they had the vote on the 3/8 cents tax that come out to about $115 per person per year.
I never had a dog in the fight, Mike. We don't live there. But I will say this. If the Chiefs go to Kansas, you did it to your damn selves. I don't want to see, anybody that voted against that.
I'm not going to blame the general public over this, by the way.
I wouldn't either, but I mean, that's still crazy.
Thing. Let me explain. The general public did not want to be taxed more. Why? We talk about this every day. We are taxed.
Yeah, true.
Our money is taxed 47 times. Even when we spend it, we're taxed again on the money we just bought and was taxed on. It never ends. You own a car, you own property, taxed every single year just to be able to own your own property. The government has figured out a way to suck everyone dry. They don't use it on anything they should to help people. They don't fix anything. You're crashing your car every other week because you're running into potholes that go to China. It's a disaster. And that entire Jackson County government, whether you voted for them or you didn't, had taxed people into oblivion.
Yeah.
And they took a stand against this one particular tax, and they miscalculated the wrong time to take the stand.
Yeah, man.
What's going to happen is that it's going to move. They're going to build a dome. They're going to tear down Arrowhead. They're going to erase every bit of our history out of that beautiful, sacred mecca of football. And it was miscalculated by the people that were taken advantage of and screwed over so much that they eventually not only sucked your soul, sucked all your money out, screwed you over in life, but now they've took away your football team too by de facto too much taxing over and over. Because, again, when you stood up to fight back, you lost the one thing you loved. And I'm telling you right now, this is what everybody does. And they're going to get the blame. And I'm not going to blame the taxpayers anymore either. We didn't live there. I didn't have a dog in the fight like you said. But, look, it's not going to be the same. It might be a big, beautiful stadium, but it's not going to be the same. Now, it might be nice going to a Christmas Day game on a 70-degree temperature-controlled seat. But, I mean, it's just not the same. And where are they going to put it? They put it in Elothe, or they put it in
it's going to be right there.
Like, where are you putting it? Topeka? You going all the way to Topeka with it?
No, it's literally going to be right there by Legends and all that, bro. They already have a spot.
So the Legends Mall, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be right over there.
When are they going to try to switch our name?
No, and you just very elaborately and eloquently said what I said, what I meant. Like, I'm not saying that you guys didn't have a reason to not want to pay more taxes, because let's get this straight. Taxes are theft. End of story. But and everybody is just beat down over and over again in this country until you have nothing left, right? So I get it. But at the same time, you knew what was at stake. So you picked the wrong time to stand bold, In my opinion, I feel like I would have paid that $100 a year to have my team and still have Arrowhead. But
look at all the people that don't necessarily have. They don't even like the Chiefs. They don't even pay attention to sports. I mean, that's a lot of people every year that's like, who cares?
I'm just saying, there are a lot of people that are mad about this that voted against that.
Right.
So you can't, you can't ride both sides of the fence there. I think you can't be too mad about it if you voted against it. And so, I mean, you kind of set yourself up. But either way, it's still the Chiefs are going to be the Chiefs. They're going to be the Chiefs. But I'm kind of with you. Like, obviously, Arrowhead, to me, a lot of people think about Lambeau Field. Like, to me, it's Arrowhead, right? That's the mecca of football. That's where it's all.
Right.
It is. It just is. The whole Lamar Hunt thing.
The first time we made the 8-hour trek, and you see it with your own eyes, and you're like, wow, I made it.
Right. But on
It was
top,
breathtaking.
on the other side of the fence there, we do have to be honest with ourselves. As much as we love the place, and as much history as it has and everything, renovating it right now would be putting lipstick on a pig.
Not to mention that the plan they proposed also was basically just a bunch of minimal upgrades that only helped the VIPs of the group, and not really a lot of like stuff that helped the average everyday man that's paying the $250 for a nosebleed. So,
right.
I mean, there was a lot of flaws with it, but I think that's where the county, the Jackson County, the city of Kansas City, everybody should have come together and they should have figured this out. And instead, everybody, bluffed a little bit, and Lamar Hunt and them called it.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it is what it is. You can't stop it. I think that anyone that's a Chiefs fan is not. If there's people that actually quit being Chiefs fans because they move, a couple miles up the road, what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? I get it. I understand the betrayal and all that, but at the same time, like, you also, guys, coming from a couple of dudes that live in a state where there are no pro teams of anything.
Yes.
Don't be too spoiled. Don't be too spoiled. Don't be getting in your feels too much. But
it'll be fine. You still got the St. Louis Cardinals.
It'll be okay.
You also got the St. Louis Blues. And maybe Mahomes. Wasn't Mahomes talking about bringing in a hockey team or an NBA team to KC? That'd be kind of fun, right?
Oh, yeah. Hockey team would be cool. Let's see here. Where did we stop? We got Flapjack with a 5-bomb. Says we stopped doing the QB sneak over a kneecap. It's definitely going to look different in 26. I think it has to. I'm with you, Flapjack. Like, they were so cautious over that you've not seen him run another QB sneak. So I think after this, they know, like, you don't want to. You've got RG3 out here throwing his 2 cents in because his career got ruined, right?
Yeah, he said that him and
he should
Parsons
sit out the whole,
take off the whole
year.
season.
Just take the whole year off.
Well,
and like
he specifically said, though, because for him, he didn't feel confident in it till about the 2-year mark.
Right. And like, that's cool. I understand where he's coming from. But yeah, the team's going to be thinking about that. You do not want to RG3 Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, to this point, is the best quarterback to ever play football. You have the best quarterback to ever play football in 8 seasons in your lap, and you already screwed yourself to the point to where now he's getting a new ACL and LCL because you couldn't get your shit together.
Well, technically, they rehabbed the LCL. That's why they did it so quickly.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
But listen to this. A lot of people took all the stuff we were talking about in our video the other day about Mahomes getting back in 9 months. That's his personal goal, to come back in 9 months. And again, we put up the Burrow and the Brady ones. Brady was all the way back in 2008, had staph infection, so he had to have several surgeries at the beginning of his original surgery, which set back his early progress. And he was still football cleared by June or July. So he was still cleared in 7 months. Joe Burrow was also cleared at about that 7 to 8 month mark. And then, of course, the preseason came around. And so it got to the 10-month mark. Just because that Mahomes wants to come back in 9 months and that we say he could come back in 9 months, by no means does that mean that we urge the team to rush him back, hurt him longer.
Yeah, no.
I think a lot of people are having misconstrued ideas of that. They think that they see the 9-month mark and can Mahomes get back for the season, and the first thing they want to jump to is, well, I think he should miss 3 or 4 months because he doesn't need to rush to get back. Fine. If it needs that, he'll take it.
I think you let Mahomes make that decision, right?
Right. I don't think anybody in his camp, with the Chiefs, is going to force him and be like, Mahomes, 9-month mark, week 1, go. You got to do it. And he's like, I'm not ready.
But
go do it.
I do think that they have to keep in mind how Patrick Mahomes is. So I get it.
It's noble. It's noble to have the look of like, well, we don't need Mahomes hurt long term. Let's keep him out. But what I'm saying is that the 9-month mark is possible. People hit it in 2008. Tom Brady was older, hit it in 2008 with less advances in modern medicine, physical therapy, surgeries, every single thing. He hit it in 7 months and had the best 10 years of his career coming up. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just because Mahomes gets back in 9 months does not mean he's not going to be the same. It doesn't mean that he's playing injured and that he can be re-injured easily. Like, I think that all of this is like comes with a caveat. Like, it's on Mahomes. It's Mahomes' body. So we don't always have to say, well, we don't want him to get injured, so make him sit out. And it's like, that doesn't always
what I
mean
was
anything.
What I was trying to say is I think there are people in place that know how Mahomes is too. He's very ambitious. He's very bullheaded.
Andy
he
said
wants
it today.
to get back out there, right? They know this, so they're not going to let him overshoot it. They're not.
Yeah, and people were making a big deal over the whole thing, like Mahomes is already rehabbing, because they said that yesterday. He's rehabbing. That's very common. As soon as you have that, I said this on a show the other day. I researched all this like ACL crap. As soon as you have a surgery, I'm talking within 48 hours, they are already stretching you and bending your knee and doing all that stuff because they've got to get that new ligament moving.
Boy,
and they
I
said
hate
it
it
is
for
the
I hate it
most,
for Pat. I hate it
dude,
for
they
Pat.
said it was the most grueling, painful thing ever, but you have to do it for like 2 weeks to like 2 months. You're
That's
just
rough.
going. And so, dude, I'm sure he's somewhere right now in pain. He's not going to be able to shower for himself for about 6 weeks.
I bet it's rough.
So, I mean, he's got a drastic new life ahead of him here.
We're thinking about you, Pat. You got this, buddy. Our boy Shane with the 10 bomb says, just getting in here. Have you discussed the linebacker room, what to do with Drew and Leo? We did, Shane. And you can go back and find that. We went a little more in depth, but I think like the gist of it is like, we need Leo. I think Leo offers you too much stuff to try to replace him. I would love to see him get Leo back. Drew probably gone after this season. Don't know if they're going to get Boss in there at the end of this year to see what he's going to do. We don't know. There's a lot to it, but someone actually threw out a scenario of trading Nick Bolton away, but we kind of looked at the contract, probably not going to happen for at least another year. That's if anybody would even want him. So, yeah, my thing is mainly here is I don't think Drew's going to be back, and I think that they need to re-sign Leo.
Leo going to middle is an intriguing idea. I think he can do it. I'm pretty sure he played middle linebacker at Wisconsin.
He's a beast too. Yeah,
that's a good idea. I would like to see Leo and Bossa next year. Drew Tranquil could be gone for me. Leo could play the strong side. Let Nick Bolton play. Then, if you get a nice middle linebacker at some point through free agency, you hit one in UDFA or you draft one. He should replace Nick Bolton, get out of his contract after next year. If you can't get that middle linebacker and you can get a strong side linebacker, then move. Then move our boy Leo over to the middle and put him at strong side. But I think you should see Bossa, Leo, and whoever else you got in 2 years. And next year it should be Bossa, Leo, and Nick Bolton. That would be my 3 linebackers next year going into it.
I like it. Also, shout out Shane, gifting out a membership. Appreciate you, brother. If you got that, make sure to thank him in the chat for being a legend.
And you got to remember, we've also
baby.
got Brandon George sniffing around somewhere, and that kid can play.
Athlete, dude.
He can absolutely play.
He's very Leo-ish in physical attributes and like athleticism and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty intriguing. Mike, something else to bring up real quick. This is via Starcade Media. So shout out Starcade. This is Rob Gronkowski talking about Travis Kelce. He was talking about this yesterday. He said, my gut tells me about Travis Kelce, he will not be back next year. With Mahomes getting hurt and everything else going on in his life, I think this is his last year. And what a heck of a career he's had. Mike, what are you thinking, dude? I know we talked about this a little bit on live stream, and we won't get into this too much. But if you just off the top of your head, off the top of the dome, or how you feeling? Like, just do you think Kelce plays next year without going too far into it?
Well, if you read in a lot to what he was saying on New Heights, I know a lot of people were making a big deal that he kept saying the Chiefs need Pat back. The Chiefs. He never said we.
I have a theory about that.
There could be, yeah. I'll listen to your theory. That is the theory that was thrown around that maybe he's over it. He's trying to disassociate himself. Also, he's just not under contract for next year, so maybe he would say the Chiefs because we does not exist in a world where you're not under contract next season. So maybe that was the reasoning behind it.
I don't even think it's that. I think that was manufactured. I think that was manufactured by producers and everything to get clicks and get engagement. I think he was told to say that.
Is that why he kept hesitating every time to remember
he was told to say that because guess what? That's going to spark all this talk and
That's
get
a
everybody
good
watching
idea.
the video. Yeah, exactly.
I think we need to hire a producer like that.
That was manufactured. Now, I do think this. Kelce's probably thinking very heavily about retiring. And obviously at that point, like you have to look at the life he's built and everything he has waiting for him after football. And you have to think about everything he's put into football. But at the same time, dude, just gut feeling to me. I know we said this last year too, but I don't think Kelce can go out the way he's gone out. Like I know that like the end of the Super Bowl, we were like, there's no way he can go out, get blown off the field in the Super Bowl and putting up a half-assed effort. And then he come back this year, he played a little bit better, but just the way this is gone, and you think he's going to take his last pass from Gardner Minshew, not Patrick Mahomes? Like, I don't see it, dude. I think gut feeling, I think he'll be back for one more season, and that's going to be it. And it'll almost be like that Kobe farewell tour where everybody knows he's playing 1 year. Like, this is my last year. Let's get this thing done.
Do you think Kelce wants to do that, though? You think he wants to make a big spectacle of himself?
Why not? I mean, if you didn't want to make a big spectacle of yourself, you wouldn't have had your own dating show. You wouldn't date celebrities like
True.
Taylor Swift. You wouldn't have your own podcast when you're already a freaking multimillionaire. You're out here making a podcast, get more money and more fame. Yeah, no. I think Kelce is completely fine with that. But I do think that I feel it in my bones, and I could be dead wrong, but I kind of feel like if Pat, I think he can help Pat get back to where he needs to be.
Well,
Almost
I think
feel
we're
like
honestly
it's like a brotherhood
50-50
type
right
deal,
now
right?
in his brain. I really do. I believe it's a 50-50 split right this second.
Yeah, I think so too, but I still think he'll lean towards.
Now, what you don't want to do, and this could be telling as well, if Kelce's snaps start dwindling over these last few weeks, that may be a telltale sign that he will come back next year. Maybe he don't want to take an injury.
Right.
It hurt his body even worse. Because how stupid would it be if you got 3 meaningless games, he was considering coming back, and then he takes an injury. And then he's like, well, I don't want to do it anymore. That would be stupid too. So maybe you watch how they're using him over the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a Chiefer, man. The wheels haven't fell off yet. He's been looking pretty decent. I actually think Kelce could have been more involved this season.
Yeah, there were times that he should have been more scripted into the
Yeah.
playbook, and it just didn't feel right.
There were times when this, well, there's a lot of times this offense was stale, but there were times where it's like just that old school quick hit into Travis Kelce was getting us moved up the football field. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think we needed more of that. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that is an interesting one. Like, I really don't know how it's going to go. Like, obviously, he's not going to say nothing for a while, but I do think he already said he would let everybody know for sure before the beginning of the new season.
Yeah, he's going to let people know. He don't want to do it. Before we move on to anybody else, I just want to shout out 2 things. Number one, you all know and love him. Our moderator, Brian Parrott, he had a medical emergency the other day. I'm not going to say anything that happened because he may not want it said, or he may have said it in the chat if he's here. I don't know. But he had to stay in the hospital. He had some kind of a medical thing going on. But he's good to a certain degree. But yeah, prayers for him. Shout out Brian.
Man. Keep him in your mind, man.
We've met Brian several times. Like, he's a good dude. And then the other one I wanted to shout out is a guy that doesn't like us very much. But Nick Jacobs. Nick Jacobs, 41 is the mic. KSHB 41. His dad passed away this past week, and that's got to be rough. That's got to be rough. Again, we have nothing wrong with Nick Jacobs. It all tends to be that. This is what I sent him. Steve, I don't even know if you've seen this. I told him, I said, we know for some reason you don't want to associate with us or even let us follow you on social media.
Which is weird, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool. That's your choice. But we just wanted to say sorry for your loss. We understand the loss of a father can be a super tough thing, as we're also close with our dad as well. Wish you and your family the best going through this tough time. Prayers for you all. We say this with the sincerest regards, for real.
Yeah, man. Send the prayers his way. That's tough. That's tough.
He immediately unfollowed us again.
He probably did.
100%. Yeah, he immediately didn't respond and kicked us right back off of his thing. So look, kill him with kindness.
It is what it is.
We have nothing against it, but this guy does not want to have nothing to do with us for some strange reason. I have no idea why. Like, you would think,
like that guy that always leaves a comment on our videos.
Peeing his Cheerios or something. But like, I'm being 100% sincere. Like, I don't want to see nothing bad happen to anybody. Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
So that was a sincere apology. He didn't accept it.
Condolences.
A condolence, yeah. He didn't like it. And in his grieving stage, he managed to find time to unfollow us from his page.
You think it could be, there's this one dude that likes to leave a comment on every podcast. He's like, nobody's ever going to take you serious because you say podcast for that S. Like, he's dead set on that. He's just like, doesn't matter how much you know about football. If you say podcast for that S, no one's going to like you. And it's like, maybe he's onto something here, Mike. But you know what?
Oh, yeah.
We're back
maybe
with another podcast
maybe they don't
for that
like
ass,
it.
baby.
I don't know, man. But I just want to shout those 2 out. Prayers for Nick. Prayers for Brian.
Yep. Let's go, guys. Well Turd with the 5 bombs says, I'm thinking Gelati is going to have double-digit sacks next year. Also want to say you guys are legends. Merry Christmas. Tard, you're a freaking legend. Merry Christmas to you, by the way. And yeah, dude, I think Gelati is going to be a dog, son. We've been saying that all year, even after the draft and everything. And then we kind of got like, it's weird because he played in Louisville. Like he played the college right up the road. We're not Louisville fans, but we did see Ashton play. Good player. And then it's weird, like kind of like we got roped in with Ashton, kind of like with the Zarda thing, and then his mom would follow us a little bit and like ask us questions, talk to us about stuff, and then I even had a buddy that's season ticket holder at Louisville, and Ashton was there the other day. They were talking about our podcast together, so we're real looped in with Ashton. He's a really cool kid, but I've been saying from the beginning, like he is a good football player. Like he's a George Karlaftis, like as far as like motor goes and everything like that, but he's faster. And Ashton, like we saw that several times this season, him get to a quarterback all the way across the field, something that George could never do. We saw him stop some runs because of his speed. And then towards the end of the season, when he was getting more snaps, we saw him making an impact. And also, by way of making his own impact, gave Chris Jones and George more space to work. And I think he's going to be good, and I think he's going to help our defensive line get to where they need to be.
Yeah, I really like Ashton. I think if you really look at him in his game, it's kind of weird because he's added weight, he's subtracted weight, he's played outside, he's played inside. Certain things that have allowed him to hold up in the run game is hindering his pass rush at the moment. I don't know what it's going to look like in the future for Ashton because he's not really a Spags prototypical defensive end. That is one thing I will say, that they kind of went against the grain with Ashton. I think maybe, like, if you can think back to, like, good games of Mike Dana, like games where Mike Dana's a disruption and games where he looked like, whoa, Mike Dana, like, what? Where's this been? I feel like Ashton could get to that point where he could be a very good Mike Dana.
He's going to be better than him
90% of the time. But I'm just saying, it's going to be like that Mike Dana style, who's a little undersized. He's going to be quicker, but he's going to be undersized. He's going to have that motor, that fire about him. But, yeah, I think it's just barely. I don't think he's going to be that top 15 pass rusher. Again, I didn't even commit to George there, and I think I'm right on that. I think George has never hit that. I don't know if he will. It still remains to be seen.
Do you think Ashton will be a better pass rusher than George Karlaftis when all is said and done?
I can't say that. I want to say it, yes. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, there's still some things that's
there's more pop there, that's for sure.
Yeah, but there's things that's causing his pass rush moves to not work right now. And I feel like it's because the things that's helping in the run game is hindering his pass game. And so I just don't know. Like I feel like he's always going to be a serviceable guy that you can put on the line. He's going to be very good for you. A high-end defensive end 3, a mid-tier to upper-tier defensive end 2. But see, I kind of feel like George Karlaftis is like a low-tier DE1, high-tier DE2. So
he's good.
So that's what I'm saying. If he doesn't get to George, now you're like a mid-tier DE2. It's tough. Like he's got a long future ahead of him, a long career ahead of him. I think it's just how much work he wants to put in, what he can do. He's got to find what he's good at and just really lean into it. And again, it may just be something where the usage has to be perfect here. Like we'll have to figure out the usage, but I do think he could be a disruptor and he'd definitely be a good pro for us.
Yeah, for sure. I put a poll up. I want to know what you guys think. Do y'all think Ashton Gelati can surpass George Karlaftis by the time they get to the end of their careers?
I think in a way that's kind of a tough pass.
Yeah, it is. It's
George
tough.
Karlaftis is good, and
George
I
still
good.
Don't. I'm not knocking George at all, but I want to see what people think. I want to see what people think, man. I have a lot of faith in Gelati, though. I think that kid has a lot of potential, and I think that he could unlock it too.
Dude, if he wasn't a football player, what should he be in life?
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm not even going to say it. It just popped in my head.
It's stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really stupid.
All right, we'll leave it there then.
He should be a karate instructor.
Why? Gelati
so
Karate?
He could open a store called Gelati's Karate.
Get out of town. Slam it, Sammy Joe with the 2.
It was great.
Says, please let Love or Woods drop to us in the draft. Yeah, a couple people were talking about that earlier, Sammy. We not dug into the draft at all yet. I don't watch a lot of college football. Mike probably knows more about it than I do. But we're getting an early start this season. So I'll be digging into that soon, obviously. Because, I mean, we'll be covering the Chiefs just like we always do throughout these last few games. We'll have another video up Saturday with our predictions and everything like that, and covering the game, having the post game. So it's not like we're just giving up for the year as far as that goes. But, I mean, we're definitely going to have more time to dig in to the draft than we normally would, because normally we're gearing up for a playoff run. We're normally trying to make sure we get that 1 seed and then get to the Super Bowl. And this year, like, we're done. We're done. It's December 18th, and we are done. Done. That is the weirdest thing ever. So we'll get to it.
Maybe you get a first round pick out of McDuffie. You get them both, and then your first round picks would be Love Wood, and that would hoard you up a lot.
Love Wood.
I mean, it only makes sense, don't it?
What's up with all the weird names you got going right now?
No idea.
Well, Turd with the 2. Speaking of cool names, though, going back to Ashton, he's very cerebral for defensive line. What do you mean by that, Well, Turd? Cerebral. What does it mean to be cerebral, Mike? Is that just like smart? Is that like a little brainiac?
Get the exact definition. Let's get your exact definition for
I'm pretty sure that's what it means, but I don't want to feel like an idiot if I'm wrong. But I think that means that he's very smart and he's calculated.
Someone that's highly intellectual, thoughtful, analytical, relies on logic over emotion.
Okay.
That's your perfect term.
I'm not a dumbass. Let's go. Woo-hoo.
You showed some cerebral thinking there. Yeah, he's smart. He's got to be smart because he's a little undersized. He's a little bit.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, Mike, we saw him take on centers and just drive them into the backfield this year.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
He got his first sack versus Josh Allen.
He can do a lot of things, man. He knows how to work with what he has. Let's just say that. And he's a hard worker. So I think Gelati's going to be fun to watch, dude.
And he makes a good sandwich.
Yeah. Speaking of, Well Turd with the 2 says now want Zarda.
Yeah.
Hey, man, everybody should want Zarda. Zarda is delicious. Get over there. Get yourself the Ashton Gelati Casey takeaway sandwich, baby. That thing is awesome. They sent us some. They overnighted it so me and Mike could have one for a game a while back. It's delicious, dude. Burnt ends, ham, pulled pork, pepper jack cheese, original sauce, and Creole seasoning.
Ooh. Now I'm hungry.
Man, and hey, I'll tell you what, if you go there, get your side of them baked beans with it.
They got good sides, man.
Yeah, they do. You get them baked beans, though. I'm telling you.
I'm going to try those wings before they get rid of them.
They're not going to get rid of them. They're going to be a staple.
Let's hope not.
Delicious. Appreciate the support, Well Turd. Guys, appreciate all your all support tonight. Thanks for being here. We'll have a lot more content coming up. We had a video that came out today. If you guys didn't get a chance to watch that one, go back and watch that after this. Make sure to hit that like button, get in the comments, all that fun stuff. Help it get in the algorithm. We're trying to build the channel. We're always trying to grow, man. And you guys are the main catalyst behind that. Always have been. So if we could get some word of mouth going around Chiefs Kingdom, Chiefs YouTube, if you're on any of the other pages, just tell everybody, come check out All Chiefed Up. You'd be surprised how many people have not heard of us some way or somehow. But YouTube definitely found a way to kind of keep us on the low, which is strange, with 51,000 subscribers. I didn't think there were very many people out there that didn't know who we were, but we get them every day. That's just like, never seen you guys before. This is great. Great show. So yeah, if you guys could help us get the word out, share it with friends, whatever you got to do, that would mean a lot to us. We're going to be doing a lot of content, all off season and everything, and always putting in the work, man. So we appreciate you guys watching, liking, subscribing, all that fun stuff.
Appreciate you, Shane.
Let's go,
the video was about Nagy and the running back position, and then we covered a little bit of what Mitchell Schwartz was talking about with some of the gaps and the schemes and things, and I thought it was interesting. So yeah, go watch that if that intrigues you a little bit, and if it don't, I don't know what you're gonna watch. I mean, Chiefs are playing bad football right now. You might as well talk about next year.
Was there a Thursday night game today?
Yeah, it was literally like the Seahawks and somebody, who knows.
That's how much I give a rat's ass about football right now. I'm like, it's the Rams and Seahawks.
Right. Here, let's answer Nick really quick. I think he's asked
That's
us
probably
a few
a good
times.
game.
I just seen it. Is FAU going to be back next season? Probably. He was on IR this year over that hammy. He's probably coming back next year. Again, me and Steve's kind of discussed. Do you think maybe they've tried something with him like they were trying with Omar Norman Lott that maybe got him from what he was successful at in college and then it got a little uncomfortable for him in the NFL? That's a possibility now that we've seen what they did with Omar, what they've done with Ashton.
I think that has something to do with it. Maybe.
So maybe there was something to that. So
yeah, I mean, I
wish
saw
they
somebody
just let him get back to getting after the passer, man.
Someone in the comments was kind of agreeing with us on that a while back, man. It was they're like, dude, I'm a K-State fan. I watched Felix play a lot, and he actually had some speed and some bend on the edge, and they took it away from him. Like they added weight to him and took it away from him. And they got to stop doing that. They got to stop doing that.
Two-bomb from Well Turd. He says, real quick before you guys go, what's the viewing points for the Titans game, if there's any?
I think overall it's off. How can the offense, offense has been notoriously bad this year, kind of go with Gardner Minshew? And is Minshew going to be able to be serviceable in case Patrick doesn't get back in the first month or two? Is he going to be able to win us some games early? And I honestly think that Minshew's probably our best option.
Could also, and I thought about this earlier, could they use Minshew right now with 3 games left to go? Because we know they can do this kind of stuff. We talked about
we've won games with Chad Henne. We won games with Matt Moore.
But having to switch up things for Mahomes a little bit next year out of necessity, because of the injury, but also because I feel like we need more under center runs. We need all this. They are capable of doing that. And because of Mahomes' knee, they may pull back some RPO, if not abandon the RPO altogether next year because of that. So maybe you can use these last 3 games to kind of look at next year and come up with some ideas that maybe we can implement further to see what works in these final 3 games.
That would be fantastic, but I don't see
it. If Minshew can run it, Mahomes can run it for sure. So that would be a fun thing to watch. The other thing I want to watch, can Bossa get some snaps? And are they really going to rush McDuffie back this week, or you going to go Williams and all of them get in there? So
that's Jalen Royals action. I want to see Rashard Smith run the ball more. Like, there's a lot of things I want to see.
Absolutely.
Brandon
with a 20 bomb says Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid. Brenda. Let's go. Merry Christmas. I'm pumped. I'm like Buddy the Elf, the real life version. I love Christmas, man. And it's been I'll tell you, it's been a weird one for me. I know we were talking about other stuff earlier, but we had a family thing go on. Have a sister-in-law that is in bad shape. And dude, miracles still happen. We'll say that. So good things coming from that. We really thought things were going to be much, much, much worse than what they have been. But she's got a long road ahead of her, which means, my fiance, our family, we have a long road ahead of us too. So, yeah, keep the prayers coming for everybody. But yeah, man, it's been tough to get in like the Christmassy spirit with everything going on. But I've been trying to make it happen. Dude. I've been watching a bunch of corny movies today. And Brenda, you just helped. It's Christmas, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I've been trying to, but it is what it is. We've only got a few more days. What is it? Only 6 days, 7 days? At least we know the Chiefs can't really ruin our Christmas too bad this year. Like, can we lose? Absolutely. But does it matter? It didn't mean nothing. Just enjoy the day, huh?
Enjoy the day. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Once again, all you guys that donated and everything, you guys are awesome. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already. Share us out with your friends. Help us keep growing this channel. We're going to keep doing our end. You guys do yours. So far, so good. So let's keep it rolling. If you guys would like to become a member, we'll have the members only live stream coming up before the end of December. We'll probably be giving some good stuff away. So you can go to join.allchiefedup.com and check that out. Also, till the end of the year, so only about 13 more days over at the store, merch.allchiefedup.com. There's 15% off everything in the store right now if you use the promo code Chiefsmas. And we got some cool stuff over there. Also, if you're one of the top tier members, you need to email us a shipping address and let us know if you want to receive your little Christmas gift card from All Chiefed Up, and we'll get it sent out to you. But yeah, guys, appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next time. Go Chiefs.
Wow.